Uh, yep, we've managed to fix that now. Uh, Apologies for... We appear to be having some technical difficulties, which is a traditional for us. Um, and it appears that we've just had our guys booted off life size, so we will wait for those guys to get back on. And I will switch to another screen in the meantime. Oh, it's almost become a tradition, hasn't it? Right, let's put me here. The rest of the guys should be popping on soon enough. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, here they come. It kicked everybody out, yep. So let's load everybody back on. So the others should be coming in now. Yeah, some sort of misalignment. We will get back in a sec. Apologies for it, everybody. I was really in the introduction flow and then realised that nobody could hear us. Right, so we're just getting everybody loaded back in, and we will start in just a sec. Hello, sir. I haven't got your video up yet. Yay, here we go. You're all in the wrong places, but at least you're all back. So at the moment the audience can't hear you because I was in the middle of doing the intro. So let's get you sorted first. And Corinne's in the correct place. And let's start again. Hello everybody and welcome to Chaotic Neutral Games, earning the title of our show one step at a time. And our D&D 5th edition campaign, The Benefactor. Our party are currently in the Institute, an underground clandestine base that seems to be owned by the Green organisation, who they are employed by. They have gone there investigating and found that it's been taken over by a demonic being. They don't know his name. He's referred to as the Shaper, the Architect, the Creator, by his creations. His creations seem to be made intelligently to fit certain scenarios. They've already been attacked by one such demon, and these guys are talking to me. You can't hear them, but I can hear them. They're trying to put me off. They're all saying Bob. His name is not Bob. And these demonic beings have done such things like tasting their blood to find out things about their power sources and their weaknesses. They're now fighting their way through the facility with one of the researchers called Abe, or Abernathy, who previously had some form of post-traumatic stress, but thanks to a mark of Tharazun, the chained god, the god of madness, that they did not see coming, unfortunately. Corinne, aka Eclipse, is currently compliant and will fulfill any request as long as it doesn't harm her. Glory has had a revelation, and she's now paranoid, thinking that they're out there to get her, but she doesn't know who they are until she finds them, and every new person that she meets, she'll have to find out whether or not she believes it's them. Abernathy, on the other hand, got amnesia and forgot all of the stress that he's taken over the last 48 hours. He knows they're being attacked, but he now believes these guys, who he had lost faith in before, are the rescue team, and they've got a clean slate with him. Cora was knocked unconscious. Kate will be along a little later, and she ended up, thanks to a good roll, in the Feywild, finding out a little bit more about the nature of her Fey patron. Farewell and Aiden managed to get away with not getting any effect from this maddening mark, the only real presence of Tharazun in this world, a strange, spiralling, jagged mark that can incite madness in those who look at it. So, it's episode 45. They're in the middle of fighting some shadow demons who are striking at them, sneaking up at them, and then striking with these claws of psionic energy. So, welcome, and let's get on with episode 45 of The Benefactor. And welcome back, everybody. So we have a Kate, and let me bring the players up. Hello, everybody.
His name is Bob.
His name is not Bob. He is the architect, the creator, the shaper. He is not Bob the Demon Lord.
He is definitely Bob the Demon Lord.
Bob the Demon Lord. Bob the architect.
Yeah.
So
until he gives us his names, we will refer to him as Bob.
Yeah. Bob.
Well, at least you're choosing something you can pronounce as opposed to Briss in Heroes of Renown. Every time they say that word, I can feel poor Joe Taylor Mills die a little inside. Anyway, so you guys are in mid-battle. Let's describe the battle for anybody who's watching, and then we can get straight into it. So after seeing the Mark of Tharazun and Cora crashing out momentarily, taking a 30-second jaunt to the Feywild and then coming straight back, Nick, Farewell and Aiden. Nick will be playing Aiden until we can get Rodrigo back. If you're watching this, mate, we love you, miss you. Eclipse must obey any reasonable order as long as it doesn't harm her, and Glory has currently got paranoia. Then the NPC that you have with you, Abernathy, has had amnesia, and as far as he's concerned, you've just met a few seconds ago, and you are the rescue party. That was immediately prior to you getting attacked. You're currently being attacked by, just bring up Campaign Lab here, which is
some shadow guys.
DM tool of choice. You are being attacked by 3 shadow demons. I think there were 4, but you completely trashed one of them. Let me check. Yep, there were 4 originally. They've managed to take out most of the lights here, but Abernathy, before his moment, cast light on his robes. So the one thing that Abernathy is providing right now is that he has a circle of light around him that you guys have been using as coverage against these things. They seem to be running up your personal shadows because he's in the middle of this circle and your shadows are being cast out to the sides. They seem to be running along your personal shadows and then attacking you from there. Farewell currently has Spirit Guardians up, so he's doing the whole Holy Blender thing. You've got, which in this circumstance I think is the optimum move. Aiden currently has Rite of the Dawn cast on his sword, so it's shedding light and it's doing extra radiant damage. Other than that, unless when you guys want to correct me, there's no other effects in place. There was one Curse of the Eyeless that Aiden did, but it's now over.
I think I am hidden on a quite high score.
Yeah, I think it's hidden to the score of 21. Assuming that they see in a conventional way, you believe that you might be hidden. Okay, but you're hidden.
Well,
Let's
I've
just
got
keep
an
it there.
advantage. I've got an advantage from being hidden before. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume.
Okay. So, opening up Campaign Lab now, it tells me that the next person to act was Farewell. Either that or you were in the middle of acting at the time.
No,
So-
I don't think I took my time at all. So, can I see any of them?
Let's see, according to my notes here, you can see 2 of them. One of them rolled a hideously bad score on a stealth roll, and the other one rolled a reasonable score, but with your absolutely insane passive perception, it didn't manage to beat. What is your passive perception again?
It is 20.
Yeah.
It is 20.
They didn't beat 20. Only one of them has managed to go back into the shadows, the thing it's made of, and hide. What you're seeing currently, Nick, is shadows that are moving up against static shadows, and that's how you're able to see 2 of them currently. Okay.
Remind me again for concentration rules, because I usually play melee. I can't cast another spell whilst I'm maintaining concentration.
No,
Yes,
can
you
cast another spell. If you cast another spell that requires concentration, the old one ends and the new one begins. Yeah? If you cast something that doesn't require concentration, you're fine. The concentration effect that you're currently holding on to is absolutely fine. So, for example, a wizard could maintain a flaming sphere and throw a bunch of magic missiles. But if they try to do a second flaming sphere, the first one would dissipate because they have to hold on to it in their mind.
In that case, I will pick the one that looks to hurt the most, and I will toll the dead on it.
Okay. One of them, if you remember from last week, had trouble holding together its form. It had been minced into burger meat by Eclipse's lash knife.
Wasn't one murdered by Glory?
Yes, Glory. You had 4, and you're now down to 3. Glory murderized one of them.
I can't hear you, Kate.
Did I not kill one?
Yes,
I
thought we
dissipated one
killed
with.
two.
I thought we killed
Unless
two.
I
Yeah.
maybe unless I finished off Glory's one, I can't remember.
All I've got
I think we
here
killed
is
2.
Campaign Lab remembers that there's 3 left.
I think I obliterated it after Glory had made it a kind of, it was dissipating, and then I
Yeah,
just blew
it
it
was
to death.
still living
You finished it
when
off.
I was
Yeah.
done with it.
Yeah.
That sounds about
Because
right.
the
I
acid
also
wasn't
think-
as effective.
And then I killed one. I'm not sure.
I think you did
I
a
have a
large
memory
amount
of
of damage
people
to it. Either way, you're currently being attacked by 3. I'm just going to run it as Campaign
Yeah.
Lab has it because it hasn't changed. So it might have been that I had one in reserve because one of them's barely touched. So
Cool.
yeah.
DC Wisdom throw 17.
Okay. Let's see. Its Wisdom is +1 and it's not proficient. So what was the DC? Sorry.
17.
17 on a 14. It does not get it. Yeah, go for it.
2d8 plus 5.
It hasn't been damaged.
It has been damaged.
So you do T12 then, not do 8.
Oh, cool. Oh, I like you, Corinne. I'm glad you remember these things.
I played a cleric until level 10, and a great cleric specifically. So
11, 19, 24 points
Ouch.
of necrotic damage.
Okay. And you gain the +5 because you're a grave cleric, yeah?
yes.
Yep, cool.
I
Okay.
am a grave cleric, so I can add my wisdom modifier to my damaging spell rolls.
Ouch. Okay, yeah,
Cantrips.
that's great. So
My
24.
cantrips, yeah.
Yeah, so 24, you suddenly just connect your divine power to the realm of death and send out this wave of entropy, calling this being into nothingness. Something that's been a little bit of a sickening thing for you recently, because with your knife you've been kind of carving into the path to nothingness. The Dark Realm, one of the many realms that border the Mortal Gate, and for this form of limbo, I guess you would call it, this place, this is kind of what you're doing when you're tolling the dead. You're connecting this being with ultimate death. That's what the necrotic damage is. It just starts to dissipate this thing's soul, or, based on the metaphysics that you were talking with Abernathy last session, this demon's lack of a soul, whatever its spark of life is, or spark of existence is, you're drawing it into nothingness. So you reach out, and with the sickening feeling in your stomach, you suddenly open it up. You're using the knife, which is why your DC is so high, and the obsidian blade just starts to be covered by this swirling dark energy. However, this creature is kind of very close to nothingness, and you don't think it's done as much damage as it should have. This creature should, by your reckoning, have been pulled through the Mortal Gate into complete oblivion. And yet, it hasn't. It's still holding on, but you can see that part of it, I said before, this thing has been minced up. It's trying to gain some form of body again, some form. And instead it's just these pieces orbiting each other, trying to figure out where it is. If you can imagine a parachutist jumping out, a skydiver jumping out, and suddenly going into a spin. The world around it, this person is just going whoom, 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 straight past, and it's really hard to get a grip on where you are and to right yourself. You have a feeling that that's what this shadow being is doing right now. It's trying to figure out where's up, where's down, and where the hell its toes have gone, and pull everything together so that it can have any form of body, even if it's just this kind of will-o'-the-wisp shape. And you just throw this beckoning into the Mortal Gate at it, and some of its energy just straight off. You can see that the parts have visibly shrunk. However, it's holding on by the barest of margins. This shadow being seems to be resistant to necrotic damage.
Bastard.
Okay. Next up is Cora.
Go on, Cora.
What can I see? Because last time I only was able to see the one that then died. So can I see any others or not?
The one that got minced up and is currently roiling around is moving shadow on top of shadow, so that everybody can see. There's a second one that some people can see, but that one you can definitely see.
So I can see one.
Yes.
Okay.
The one that Farewell's just attacked.
Sure. Well, if I can see, then I will choose to Eldritch Blast it because it seemed to work last time.
Sure.
And it's a good go-to. So I will, yeah. I can only see that one.
You can only see the one, yeah.
Okay. I'll double Eldritch Blast that then.
Okay. Roll to attack.
I don't know. I don't have the joy of rolling real dice. It's so depressing. It's the best bit. So it's 2d10. So, no, it's not. Now I've got to roll a hit.
It's 2 attacks, and each attack has a d10.
Oh, wait. 1d.
Okay.
I rolled a 17 on a d20, which I add to hit is a 9. So that hits, right?
That hits a lot, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Second attack. Oh, second attack, not so good. Second attack, I rolled a 7 plus 9, 16.
Hits.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now I roll 2d10. 6, 10. An 8 and a 1.
Oh! Okay. So, I'm going to tell you mechanically it had 10 hit points and you've just dealt 9, which is... however,
you unreal dice, you app you.
That's mechanically, but what Cora sees is this roiling shape, and you remember that force did some damage before, you suddenly just conjure these 2 telekinetic blasts and throw them in the direction of the being. Getting quite accustomed now that you've used it quite a lot, Cora, you're starting to feel that it's normal just to conjure these telekinetic blasts and throw them from your fingertips as if you're flicking off, dishwater after washing the dishes. It's becoming a very natural thing, something that you feel rather than having any ceremony to it. You barely have to think about it anymore. So you throw these, and this roiling shape just gets spread over such a wide area that it's now just these little thin twisting ribbons or worms of shadow that's just skipping in and out of the shadows. You know that it's not completely gone, but man, it's fucked. So that one is very close to being dead. Glory, you can see the little ribbons flying around the place, and instinctively, seeing how little of it is left, you know that the barest amount of damage will discorporate it.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we end with Glory last time? Anyway, so for I'm just gonna remind you, Felicia, that because Holy Blender is on, as long as when it starts its turn, it's just gonna die regardless of what happens, assuming it's in range.
If it attacks you.
No, not even if it attacks. When it starts its turns, it takes damage.
If it's in range, it's not currently in range. So currently, you've got this circle of light and the spirit guardians, which, to remind you all, is actually members of Farewell's family, back from the dead. These are very old members of the family, so Farewell doesn't recognize them. But you can see these ghostly genasi just orbiting him, saying, "Protect him, protect him," as they go past. Well, actually, you don't know they're saying that. Only Farewell knows they're saying that, because these guys only speak Aquan. So you can hear this strange, almost like whale song.
It's more like rain. So
rain. Yeah, sorry, not whale song. It's more like rain. Yeah. So, Glory, what are you doing?
I can only see the one that's hurt, right?
Yep.
Well, not more to do that then. I'm gonna throw a acid splash at it because that will kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even if it's resistant, you can't do less than 1 damage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Actually, no, not acid splash. I'm gonna use firebolt.
Ooh. Okay.
Because if it dies, then Cora gets a
range of a table. And set the table on fire. I thought about doing it, and I could have done it, and I couldn't resist the Eldritch Blast.
Now I'm killing the thing, so you get a finesse point. I'm being a team player here.
I still don't know. I still don't use the finesse points as much as I should. I will try and figure out how I can use that. Thank you.
For our viewers, by the way, Kate is not home at the moment, as you can tell by the lovely Tudor battening behind her, and is being very understanding and joining our game remotely, which is why she hasn't got dice, and she's using all the wonders of technology to be able to play. So do forgive the fact that when she started going coo coo, she was actually staring at you as if she was a ventriloquist. I'm afraid her video is a little bit behind her audio, but the audio is all that really matters. So there we go.
Sorry.
It looked really impressive. It was like, you were doing metagaming pigeon whilst looking completely innocent, and that had a humour of itself. So.
Usually I'm watching the stream as well, but I don't think I could put that strain probably on whatever internet this place has.
Yeah, don't put the extra strain on. So, Felicia, you are throwing a firebolt at it. Go for it. Roll to hit.
I rolled a 24.
24? Misses. No, it hits. It definitely hits. Yeah.
It's dead.
So yeah, don't bother rolling damage. You find one of the little wispy bits, and you're like, "Got you." Flick. You flick the firebolt at it, and yeah, you have managed to get rid of one of the shadow demons. And as you say, being that you're working with a good amount of teamwork here, you have given Kate a finesse point. So she's that's just been added on now. So 3 of you have got finesse points. The only person who hasn't got one is Nick, and his main ability with a finesse point is to give it to other people. So,
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
I would like you to do a
Is
luck
I
roll.
close enough to Nick for him to gain one?
He has to be within 5 feet of me. 15 feet of me, sorry.
No, not within 15 foot, unfortunately.
No,
So
5
yeah,
feet.
it
5 feet.
it died due to fire, which means that Kate gets one. But
Yes.
We've already said that the orb of light that they are staying outside of and kind of nipping in and nipping back out again, and his spiritual guardians go out to a 15 foot as well, and they are outside of that range. However, do me a luck roll, Glory. Just roll me a d20 and tell me the result.
Go on.
Just a straight roll.
Just
That's
a straight roll.
19.
A 19, you say?
Mhm.
Yep, okay. Your firebolt goes through it because it was only 1 point of damage, and this is a tiny wisp of shadow that you're hitting, and it has set fire to a crate.
Yay, more life.
Okay.
More life.
And as it sets fire to a
I do love
crate,
some arson in my Friday afternoon.
I am going to remove d6 from the stealth score of one of them, and a second shadow demon, because I rolled a 4. A second shadow demon has now dropped his stealth score below all of your passive perceptions. In story terms, you set fire to a crate, and as the fire starts to gutter and spread over this crate, you can see that one of the shadows isn't moving like the others. Yeah? So the flickering of this flame has identified one of the shadow demons because it's just not behaving like the other shadows. It can't move fast enough to pretend it's the same as the rest. So you can now see one of the shadow demons that has been given a small amount of damage by you all. The next person to act is actually Abernathy. Thanks to the very lucky madness roll that made him forget the last 48 hours, he no longer has the post-traumatic stress disorder that he had from seeing his colleague's head in the lift. So I'm going to just give him a quick roll, as he is going to try to perform an attack. He only has cantrips. As I said before, he didn't manage to get a long rest, and in his short rest it's clear that he used his arcane recovery long ago. So, yeah, that's a 19 on the dice. So he's going to follow suit to you, Glory, and he's going to throw a firebolt at the shadow demon. And he hits, and a small amount of fire goes through it, and as it does so, you can hear this sinuous scream, this as the shadow demon gets hit. I'm going to go for a luck roll for Abernathy as well, and he is not as lucky as you, Glory. He does not manage to set something on fire. Yep, you guys can only see one shadow demon. You suspect that there are still 2 around.
The scientist is bad at arson.
Yeah, he's a shield mage. He's already said that. Suddenly, you notice that the shadow demon that you've been attacking dashes into the crates. It's not hiding per se, as dashing around to try and find a vantage point. But with you all actively looking now, it knows that it's going to have trouble trying to creep up on you. It is still going to try to attack you, though. And the one that it tries to attack is Abernathy. Okay? Now, Abernathy's the more difficult one for it to attack. For one thing, he is your light. They're trying to attack the lantern. But they know that if he dies, his light spell will go out. It's not a concentration spell, but he is powering it without concentration. If they kill him, he'll be able to... they'll have complete darkness for now, until one of you throws up your dancing lights or whatever, or you get close enough to the burning crate, and it will give them the field advantage that they need. This seems to be a level of intelligence that you didn't see with them before. They attacked with a kind of primal or feral aggression. This seems to be a bit more thought out. As you're watching around to make sure you're not attacked yourself, you can see that both of them are going to attempt this. So the first one is going to dash along Farewell's shadow, and it's going to... Yeah. I've got them here. They're going to do wisdom saving throws, and do they get half damage, Nick, if they fail?
Let me double check. Half damage on a successful roll.
Okay, this is going to hurt them, but they're going to see if they can get this advantage. So they both fly in. They come in on a flanking attack. One of them's going through Farewell Shadow. The other one's coming through Glory Shadow. But instead of striking you, they do a kind of feint, pretending to hit you and then going up and trying to strike Abernathy. But first of all, let's do their rolls. So I've got a 20 and a 7. So one of them gets...
One set, one fail.
Yep.
That's... I can't do maths at the moment. 8, 9, 10, 11 points of radiant damage.
Ouch.
Was that on the success or the fail?
That's on the success.
Yeah, so and then I halve it for the other one. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
And
as they
I
come,
assume Farewell and Glory gets attack of opportunity if they go past them.
we'll get to that. Yeah. So these two shadow demons come in from the sides, flanking, running along the shadows. They're still within everybody's threat range when they make their attack. And so as they skitter in, you can see that Abernathy, kind of gimlet-eyed, shies back from these claws slashing at him. He does do a gesture with his hands that Glory would recognise as the shield spell, but as already said, he has no spell slots left. He's used up a lot of his energy.
Ivan will use his Blood Curse of the Eyeless as a reaction on whichever one attacks first.
Does that give disadvantage?
That imposes disadvantage on the attack.
Okay, so do me a quick...
Wasn't the item waiting with an attack until one of them attacked?
Oh, he
Yes.
was. Yes, he was. He was holding his action.
He
until
was
one of them
holding
came
his
into
action
range.
until they popped out
Wow.
to attack anyone.
In
I'm
that
glad
case, he
you
can take it
remember
now.
that. Okay, I will roll his attack. I'm glad you remember that because I bloody well did.
I do try
So-
to help.
So, Simon, can you clarify your rules on held action attack? Is it their entire attack action? So if he has multi-attack, he can attack twice when they held action attack.
So if you hold the attack action and you have multi-attack, which says when you take the attack action, you get to do more than one attack, you hold all 3 attacks or 2 attacks or whatever you have. So,
Okay, so first is a 16 to hit.
yes, that hits.
Cool. And second, oh, that's just roll over there, is, yeah, that's natural 18, so plus 7, so he's definitely hit. So that will be...
Okay. Just a quick thing, Nick. Same target, or is he going to do an attack on each of them?
One on each.
Okay, sure. In that case, roll the first damage.
Okay, first damage. Just double checking how much he gets on his right. So it's 1d4 right damage.
That's correct.
Okay, well that's 4 points of radiant.
Sure.
And 10 points of piercing. And his sword, I don't know if it classes as magical because it's got the radiant or because it's silvered.
Yep, noted. Yep, I know. Yeah, I know about a sword. And for the second demon, please.
2 points of radiant and 14? No, yeah, 14 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
I rolled
Okay.
an 8 on my D8.
Okay. So he throws in on these guys, and with 2 slashes, he steps forward, duelist style, slashes through one, and then back down through the other. He's about to do Curse of the Eyeless, and he hopefully realizes something. Roll me an intelligence check for Iden Canal.
Will do.
Are you being mean to him again?
No, I'm giving him an opportunity here.
14.
14, fair enough. Yeah, I gave this a DC of 13, so he manages to get it. He notices that these creatures are suffering from the light, and they have disadvantage on their attacks anyway. Curse of the Eyeless will have no extra effect. There's no reason for him to use the right.
So he'll go,
So
bite his tongue.
He withdraws and realizes these creatures are acting out of desperation anyway. Okay. So, with that done, the 2 demons strike at Abernathy. So the first attack that they do, let me just... Yeah. So claws with disadvantage. The first one slashes down Abernathy's front, and with a scream, Abernathy kind of leaps back. You can see the claws passing through his robes, and you think, oh my god, he's been hit. And you can see with frustration, the shadow demon twists and darts, starts to dart out of the circle of light, clearly not hitting. The second one goes in for the attack, and this time does hit. As the first one only managed to cut through cloth, this one manages to slash the back of Abernathy's neck, and he shrieks, and you can see that all the colour in his face drains. You don't think that he would be able to survive a second attack of that magnitude. They rolled very well on their damage roll. They nearly maxed out. So yeah, if he has another hit like that, he may be a goner. They both attempt to dart out of the circle, and as they do so, they also dart out of the threat range of Farewell and Glory. Both Farewell and Glory, if they wish, may make attacks of opportunity.
Well, I just rolled in that one, so...
Just try to slap it on the head.
Well, and I can still not do anything properly as a attack of opportunity. There was the tail swipe. That was a what now?
Damage.
Yeah, it's a either a Dex or Strength based attack with your tail that does D4 damage.
It's
Okay.
1 damage?
Sorry, 1 point of damage. Sorry, not D4.
Mm.
You're not a monk.
Yeah, that is true. Would it be possible to use it to try and push it, throw it in the other direction? Because it's a big fucking tail just slamming into it if it hits.
It's a big tail, but it's a near incorporeal form. When you attack these things, what you do is kind of stir them up, like stirring up gone off milk in a cup of tea. God, I couldn't have put that more British, could I?
Sad. Oh well. Nah. I won't hit it either.
Okay. So the 2 shadows flit out into the shadows, and they're both going to attempt to hide. Okay. So anybody with a... Oh. No. They're gone. Sorry, guys.
No. Okay, as they disappear, I yell out, keep within 15 feet of me. Let's keep moving towards the reactor. I can keep this up for a little bit longer than we are. And yeah, I want to suggest that we all move together as a unit.
Abernathy holds himself shivering and says, it's this way. The corridor next to administration. Come on.
Do you want to send out some dancing lights, Glory, please?
Yes. I'm guessing I have to wait to my turn for that.
Yep, it's an action to do dancing lights. Yep.
I'm gonna hand Abernathy one of my healing potions.
You can do that on your turn. I'll go through in
We're still in initiative.
initiative order. So yeah. So Eclipse, I'm assuming a held action.
Unless you will let me to do a perception check.
An active search check is an action, unfortunately. Now, the benefit of that is that as a bonus action, you can point where they are.
Your call, Corinne. You know what to do. You know what to do.
No, no. That's why I'm deliberating.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because oh, yeah, because that will do nothing.
While Corinne's deliberating, just a little bit of information for anybody who's watching. We're currently using life size because Discord has discontinued its ability to do video conferencing. That's why I look a little bit pixelated, but thankfully one of the upsides of it is the sound is a lot better, and also the graphics of the players is far better. We're chopping up the screen that the life-size screen which I've got on my other screen. The reason why I look pixelated is because I'm looking at my own picture. They put it as a tiny little picture in the corner, so I've had to stretch mine out, and that's why I'm pixelated. But these guys look prettier as ever. So we're going to continue to use life-size for now until we find a better option. Anyway, bought you some time, Corinne.
Yes, by distracting me.
You're supposed to listen to me.
Go on, Corinne. Just do what your gut tells you. Do what your gut tells you. Just trust yourself and do what your gut tells you.
I mean, I want to stay hidden, but I'll go around. So at least, I assume I'm still like around 15 foot close to.
If you move out, if you move out 15 feet, and then my one, you'll be at the edge of my.
And
target.
my held action is if they get within 15 feet of me, then lash knife whoosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. You are surrounded by crates and things like that, so the 15-foot radius around Farewell, there are things that you could potentially hide behind. Remember, if you're hidden in shadow, that is better for the shadows. If you're hidden in light, it's easier to see you. So it's a slightly compromised position in this case, but considering the sheer amount of damage that you can do to them, you're all right. You're mostly making yourself as obscured as possible.
Very improbable.
Yeah. What you're doing here, Eclipse, is you're making yourself as obscured as possible, trying to get as many things between you and the shadows as possible, so that when they come in for their attack, they won't be able to see you, so that when you lash out at them, they won't know the direction from which the attack is coming. So I'm still allowing that you are hiding for the purposes of your sneak attack. Okay? Next is Aiden. So, Farewell, what's he doing? Oh, sorry, Nick,
he's going to do very similar to what Eclipses did, except he won't have the benefit of hiding. He will hold. He will move the 15 feet towards the direction that we're all going to move in, and then once he's moved that distance, he will then hold his action once again, preparing for any of the move within his melee attack to attack them once more.
Sure, not a problem. So that's Aiden, and then directly after that is you, Farewell.
And then I will move up, and I will hold a Sacred Flame cantrip, preparing for the next round of attack.
Okay, solid tactics so far. Cora.
Would handing the guy a potion cast as an action or a bonus?
Handoff is a bonus action. Feeding it to him is an action, but just giving it to him is an action.
Okay, well, I will hand him one of the potions and say, "Don't you die on us before you have got us to our destination." And I will then move, obviously, with the group, and hold Eldritch Blast.
Sure. Okay. So.
Or no, I'm going to hold the Firebolt.
Okay.
With the same idea of I want to.
Create
I mean,
lights.
actually, are we moving into darkness? He's still got some light on him. Is he the only one supplying light, Abernathy?
Currently, Abernathy is the only one supplying light, and he's moving with you. Even though you're all saying that you're moving 15 foot, what I'm ruling is that, you know, this is going fluidly. Things don't happen in turn order.
D&D thing.
Yeah, D&D physics. But you're all moving simultaneously 15 foot as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have light around you at least.
But he is
just remind us, Simon, that currently with Right to the Dawn, Aiden is emitting light through his sword as well.
Not that much. But yes, he is emitting light. The light that he's emitting is currently completely engulfed by the light spell coming from Abernathy's robes.
Is there also light still coming from the desk that Glory maybe set on fire, or is it gone out?
The crate that she set on fire is certainly growing. The floor of this logistics area is stone, so you have a feeling that only when the crate is completely burnt out, it won't pass on to other things. But at the moment, it is a lovely little campfire, and yes, they're probably avoiding it.
Yes, I would like to. Is there any in the direction that we're trying to head? Are there any desks or anything that I might be able to also set fire to give us extra light?
Yep. So this is a totem battle, a theater of the mind. So I told you that this place was strewn with various supplies and crates and things like that. So absolutely, if you wanted to use your firebolt, for example, to make like a waypoint between the two, so that there's light between you and your intended destination, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
I will absolutely do that. I want as much light as possible, whether or not this guy stays alive or not, if these things travel in the shadows. So yeah,
Okay.
I will find a desk covered in, like, if I can, covered in like papers and stuff, and I will try and...
It's hitting
So
a
I will
desk.
use my
Yeah,
action to
I'm
do
not
that.
going to get you to roll. You're going to hit a desk, and I'm going to give you again a luck roll for that. Because you're kind of playing Battleship with these guys. It's kind of the intention of this this encounter. So let's see if you highlight a bit of Battleship.
You sunk my battleship.
Unfortunately, not in this case, but there is now a source of light
But I can
that these things will try to avoid. And if for some reason Abernathy's light goes out, it's a place that you guys can dash to for refuge. And yeah, you hit the clerk's desk we talked about before, the dead clerk, and you've just thrown your fire at that, and all the papers have just gone whoosh. Yeah, it's a decent sized fire even from the offset.
Nice.
Okay, your idea to use papers on a desk means that it's actually more effective than the crate that is, as I say, that's got this guttering flame instead. Although
I gave him the potion as well, just to reiterate.
That's
cool.
that's on Abernathy now. I've made that note. And Glory.
Yes. So we can't see any one of them. That's unfortunate. But what I can do is cast the dancing lights in order to increase the light area around us.
Yes.
Push them like towards the edges of where Abernathy's light is, so that we highlight even more around us.
Yep.
And basically, since it's a concentration, I will assume that I can like make it so they're like spinning around us and moving.
That's the bit I was waiting for. I'm going to give them luck rolls to see whether or not this now kind of effectively a strobe light effect is... I'm going to see if they're able to stay hidden at this point. One of them exposes themselves. Your triggered action goes off. So anybody who had a triggered action to attack can now attack one of the shadows.
Oh yeah!
I love that.
So let's go in what you call order. Eclipse. They're not within 15 foot, but I will rule that you can kind of do the old-fashioned 5-foot step and throw down on it. So do your attack.
Natural 20.
Ouch.
I'll take that.
Of course, you attacked with advantage, which is still applicable in this case because this thing did not know it was about to be exposed. So, yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah. So my 2d4 is 6 damage, and then how many? I think it's so 86 on top of that.
86. Wow.
So 6 plus 7, so 13. Plus 7 is 20. Plus 6, 26. Plus 7, 30 numbers. $33 plus 5.
38.
38.
Yeah,
30. Yeah, no, plus 6 actually, so 39.
Okay. So yeah, a hideous amount of damage as your lash knife goes out. This baseline magical weapon, but still a magical weapon, lashing out in that direction, and it carves through the body of the shadow demon, and it's not looking too good anymore. What looked like a rough humanoid outline, it's now just a scattering of limbs. It's still alive, but it's struggling to hold itself together. The next person on the list for that is Aiden. Now, Aiden isn't within range to strike at it, but I will allow him a single quick draw of his pistol. So, can you draw for that, Phil? Nick.
Yep. I will fire the gun.
Gun.
He is showing a finesse point, correct?
Let's see. I've got it on here. You guys can't see it on the stream, but Rodrigo, yes, has a finesse point. Everybody has a finesse point apart from Phil.
Okay, well, he's going to if he's out to draw his pistol, he will do a Lumiere discharge, which is a 20-foot cone in the direction of the bad man.
Yeah, absolutely. So he pulls out the Witchlock pistol. This what we would consider a flintlock pistol with a hexagonal barrel that can be twisted to different sections, and on each edge of the hexagonal barrel are these Bloodhunter glyphs. He draws it and is about to do a shot, and then thinks. It has a moment of thought, flicks the barrel around with his finger, and then kind of holds it, kind of not hip firing, but kind of to his chest, and fires. So I have to roll something rather than him.
It's a dexterity save.
Yep. And what's his spell save?
DC is 16.
Okay.
Yeah, no, 17 then.
17.
Dex, sorry. Efficiency plus dex, and 17.
Okay. Roll for damage.
Cool. 4d6 radiant fire damage.
Yep. So this is a dual damage type that you've got here.
Fine. Oh. Plus 4. So it's 19 points of radiant and fire damage in a 20-foot cone.
Ouch. So the one that Eclipse struck gets obliterated by this looming discharge. So what you guys see is as he fires this witchlock pistol, the effect is like a shotgun going off. Not that your characters would understand that, but this is a shotgun of fire and light. This kind of energetic green flame shooting out in a 20-foot cone, hitting the one that you can see, which obliterates instantly, and also hitting the one that's 10 foot away from it, which is now lit up momentarily in green fire. It's been exposed. It's out of hiding. So you only have one left. And so we're going to continue with your held actions, right tactics. So well done, guys. And this one, it doesn't seem to be damaged that severely by the lumen discharge, but it was definitely damaged. So we're going to go straight on to Farewell, who was after Iden and was holding a sacred flame. I believe that's another dex check for me.
Yeah, same DC, 17.
17. Unfortunately, 17 on the nose, got a 12 on the dice, and it's a +5 for these guys. As the light appears, it's kind of reeling back from the lumen discharge, and the light just kind of skitters right across the edge of it, and you're there thinking, I got it! Oh shit, no I didn't. So, very narrow miss, I'm afraid, Nick, but close but no cigar. However, Cora, who currently is holding like two shimmering, I think kind of Eldritch Blasters, because it's Force, and Force doesn't really have a colour.
Fire.
Tell me if it...
Firebolt.
Oh no, it's
Fire.
no, it's Firebolt. You didn't hold an action.
I didn't hold it. I used it.
Lit up a desk, which in all fairness was a very clever move. And Dancing Lights did something. It triggered everything. So Cora and Glory contributed in intelligent ways.
Yes. I am a team player. I thought we've established this.
I murdered. Ooh, I'm thinking. How do I get a finesse point now again?
So you guys, that was all your held actions, and that was off the back of Glory. It is now the Shadow Demon's turn, the remaining Shadow Demon's turn, and you can see that it is bolting for the same door that you are, and it's given up all hope.
Get within 15 feet of me, you little shit.
No, it's skirting around the sides. It felt the hit before as your ancestors kicked the ever-living shit out of it. So it's giving you a wide berth, which in a way is a good defense. You've got like a miniature castle going with you. But this creature now is staying to the shadows, wisping in and out. You're only seeing it part of the time as it's moving, and it's going for the same door that you guys are. Unfortunately, Kate has dry roasted one of the desks near it. So I'm actually going to give it a disadvantage on its stealth roll to try and get to the door. So let's have a go. Oof. I rolled a natural 20 and a 3.
Oh.
So
And
a 3. So it's it's flying to the door. And it's avoiding the desk, but in doing so, it skirts around the desk, and you can see it. It's basically between the desk and you, so you can see the fire and this outline of this shadow demon. Right tactic, bad on the execution. Eclipse, your attack.
me, yes. Am I still hidden or not? Because
I want a stealth check because it saw what you did to its friend.
Yes.
Go on.
Normally I would have still checked after that, but that was a reaction to held action. So 22.
22. You are hidden for the purposes of the Shadow Demon. You can see which direction it's going in, and so you kind of skitter behind an obstacle and wind up your lash knife ready to attack. Roll with advantage.
Smack. So only a natural 19 this time, not a natural 20.
Oh, it's a shame you don't crit on 19s.
Yeah.
You didn't get a natural 20 every turn. Man, you suck. So, yeah, go for the attack.
Okay. So 3 plus 6 is 9 plus 4 is 13 plus 6 is 19.
Okay, 19 points of damage. Yep, you just whip it up and whoosh, this dagger on a chain flies towards the creature and goes straight down its back. And you can tell that you've damaged it by its reaction. It kind of... And, yeah, you've done it a good hefty amount of damage.
He will draw his pistol once again and will do a bloodshot towards the creature. As I assume it's out of his melee range.
It's out of his melee range unless he wants to leave your current little bubble that you're walking around in. I'm assuming that you're all continuing to walk towards the door as you're performing these actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he just kind of flicks the barrel back over to bloodshot. As he pulls the trigger, he feels like a pinprick somewhere on his hand. It's not a mechanical thing, it's just a small amount of his blood has been sampled. He takes 1 hit point's worth of damage and
he rolls a 21 to hit.
Okay, definitely hits. Roll, which means he gets the 1 hit point back. And roll for damage, please.
He rolled 15 points of piercing damage. I rolled a 10 on the d10.
Yep. So this gout of flame comes out and straight through the creature. The creature once again reels in pain with this item hitting it.
Is
they're
it
not
a magical
undead,
item?
It is a magical item. It is a magical item, but it's not undead.
Yeah, it's not
No,
undead. So if we look on here, I'll bring it up for the viewers. So the Witchlock pistol, Bloodfire shot, range 60 foot, 1d8 plus Dex mod plus 1 fire damage. It's not piercing damage. It's fire damage. If the target is undead, they take an extra 1d6 radiant damage, and if this attack hits, Aiden regains the 1 hit point that he had to use for ammunition. And it says a bolt of blood red fire shoots from the pistol. So yeah, this crimson fire just hits it, and yeah, it's made of Bloodhunter magic. This creature, yeah, gets damaged by it. So that's Aiden, and it's still standing, but it's once again looking very thready. This time, there's not been enough force in these attacks to completely mince it up like before. But the slash going down it with a magical item, and then all of a sudden this fire coming in from the back, it seems to be just kind of flickering in and out of existence. So Farewell, what would you like to do?
I am... make another dexterity save. I'm going to just Sacred Flame it. I think it's the best thing I can do at this moment in time as we're moving forward.
That's a 10.
So
fail.
Fail. So that is 2d8 radiant damage plus 5. Don't fuck me. Oh, that's not bad. That's an 8 on one of them. 8, 3, so that's 11 plus 5 is 16 points of radiant damage.
I haven't said it in a while, so I'll say it now. Nick, how would you like to do this?
Yes! What I want it to do is like the flame to initially like lash out under its feet and then just get a little bit ahead of him, and as it's sort of low at the level, once it just gets in front of him, it suddenly roars into life backwards and just sort of like blasts through him like backwards.
I like it. Yeah. As it was trying to skirt this table, you managed to get a really good bead on it, and yeah, the light just spills up over it like a crashing wave, completely obliterating it. Well done, guys. You've managed to take out some shadow demons.
Yay! And those were just the shadow demons.
How long would we have said that sort of engagement was? Just so I can sort of
The
know how
whole
long I'm
thing,
gonna have.
probably about 24 seconds.
Cool. I'm going to turn to it. I've got about 9 minutes left with these guys. Let's hurry.
Hurry.
And then we walk fast.
There's a sound of rain from the spirit guardians, but Farewell can hear, yes, listen to our son. Listen.
That's so creepy.
Well, there
Well,
is
if you thought that was
relatives.
creepy-
Maybe they want to tell him some stories.
If you thought that was creepy, I haven't finished. There's a voice.
Oh.
Rather.
So, you seem
It's
to
Bob.
take great delight from taking down my pets. What interesting abilities you have. I can see that you're not the average ilk that come into this facility. You are moving, Corinne. You don't need to do the jogging on the spot motion. You are moving as he's speaking. Such an interesting mix.
I think my camera kind of froze a bit.
Such an interesting mix of abilities. I'm going to have to rethink this one. Let's get some raw materials. And you suddenly hear ripping of something and screaming of unearthly creatures.
I need to put back music.
I suppose.
At this point, I need to do a roll for Abernathy. Oh, get in there, my son. 18 on the dice. Abernathy goes, let's blow this freak to kingdom come. Let's go. And
Ultimated, good boy. Good boy.
Drink the potion. You're almost dead, and you need to lead us there.
yeah, he is going to chunk the potion. Oh, nice. He regains 9 hit points. And he strides forward with his wand in front of him, the tip glowing with a small fire ember as he prepares a firebolt for anything that comes his way.
Just a question. I can't, because it was
Boy.
probably last session and I can't really remember, but at some point, did Farewell cast Beacon of Hope or something that does the maximum hit points?
I lost that concentration in the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, just to check in case he got more hit
Yeah.
points. But that's cool.
Oh,
I
well
lost
remembered,
that one.
but yes, he had to switch concentration spell.
That's fine.
And that's only a minute, I think. Beacon of Hope is only a minute.
Yeah.
So
9 minutes. Let's move.
you step into a central corridor, and this central corridor seems to have it seems to be wider, and it seems to be where a lot of these supplies go down. You can see trolleys and things like that would normally be piled high full of the various bits and pieces that they need, and they are stationed next to 4 large lifts that seem to go down somewhere into the depths of the Institute. Abernathy goes, we don't need these. If they open, shoot whatever's there. And as he's going past, he's almost like he's on a cop show, pointing at each of the lifts in turn, and as he goes past. He then goes into what seems to be a form of storage area. And he goes, eyes open. This place is a bit of a mess, but it does go down into the reactor room. I have no idea what they've got for us. Okay, let's see. And you step into a second as a storage area, whereas the loading bay was full of crates. This seems to be a forest of shelving units. And each of the shelving units is about 20 foot high and 30 foot long. And they're in a grid pattern by which there are 3 rows of these. And then they have about 12 rows going side to side. Before going to this forest of shelves, he says, "Okay, we're basically going straight through. There's some of the shelves that have got larger items on them, so we might have to dogleg a little bit. Just stay together. We can do this." He rolled high on his courage check, so he's ready, and he can't remember half the shit that traumatized him. So he's got all his fight back if none of his spell spots.
Okay, so we have 2 switches in the control room, 20 feet apart, 2 levers with locks, and 1 wheel.
That's once you get to the reactor room. But yeah. Did you recite that as a character or as a player?
I'll recite this as a character.
As a character, Abernathy turns around and goes, "Oh, you've been briefed on the room. Fantastic. Okay, let's go."
Well, I don't think Athena can do much because owls, I don't think, have dark vision. Do they have dark vision? Does owls have dark vision?
I think they have
Owls
advantage.
are night hunters. They should have fucking dark
Surely
vision.
they do.
Yeah.
She's a shitty owl if she doesn't.
Yeah.
She's a special owl.
Just
Let's not be
Fighting
special.
walls all the time.
She just goes.
Crunch.
Traits. Yes. Oh, she has 120 feet dark vision. Actually, she's really good in the dark. So, but Athena will scout ahead.
Yay!
Okay.
And she has advantage on perception checks as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So natural 16, so 19.
Okay, let's check on these guys here. Which kind of gives the game away, but okay.
To be fair, we all went into that room expecting to have to fight something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So Athena, actually, let's be fair on this. Roll an initiative check just for Athena.
Ooh. Good luck, little owlie. Good luck.
Good luck.
Bye, birdie.
So 17.
Okay. So in that case, Athena gets to say this. She starts to bank through all the different shelves. Many of the shelves are stacked right up to the roof, because the roof is up to about 25 foot anyway. And so she's having to bank between these various things. She's looking down each of the shelves, and she manages to get this off, where she says, "They're using the shit."
She had no chance of spotting them and getting away.
She spotted it, but she managed to get rid. Actually, that's probably not that much, and she got quite a lot of initiative. I'll say that she got as far as they're using the shelves.
Okay.
Oh dear, we're gonna need to look up.
Oh. Well.
And you feel
So,
Athena just discorporate.
yeah, so she didn't have enough initiative to spot them and then fly in the opposite direction, so she doesn't get attacked then.
They all had prepared actions.
Yeah. Okay, okay, so Athena just went pop and they're using the shelves.
Cora, you hear Eowyn curse off your left shoulder. Apparently, this is not a good place for familiars.
I'm actually saying I've kind of like, especially after this happens, I'm definitely saying to Eowyn to actually kind of stay with me and behind me, not to try and scout ahead and stuff, and I don't want her to to bamf out. I want her with me, kind of thing. So.
Yeah. Well, she's
I was
invisible.
gonna use it, because I
That
forgot
didn't help her
about
much
her. I was
last
like,
time,
oh,
but
I
she is
can use
invisible.
it too. I was like, oh, I can use it for the help action and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know. Well,
but now she's gone.
Aowen already got popped out real easy, so it's like, nah, they're too, and they already know about her, so they know they can do that even quicker. And yeah, they just did the opposite.
Yes.
So
It's
yeah.
not familiar friendly for us.
Yeah.
So mine actually survived.
So far, yeah, absolutely. He's so shadowy. I don't know. Like, are we? So we were standing at the door, about to go into this place with shelves or something.
Yeah.
Right?
So let's describe this. You're walking into a wide room. You're coming in through a 10-foot wide pair of double doors into a wide oblong, which is separated it's divided up by 12 sets of shelving units. I say 12 sets. They're 12 shelving units wide, and each set of 12 is 3 deep. So it's kind of chopped like a barcode in front of you. Some of them you can tell that they've been stacked in such a way that things are stacked between the shelves, and so it cuts things off. So it's not just a case of going straight through in some cases. You could find yourself going through one set of shelves only to find that you have to kind of double back or kind of go through a shelving unit or something. So it's kind of a mess. Also...
How big is the room?
How big is the room? So wide, if we say there's... I should have done these maths before. So it's about 60 foot wide, and it is 90 foot deep. They're long shelves. So even though there's the shelves are a certain width, actually no, it'd be about 120 foot wide and 90 foot deep.
I'm gonna. I'm not sure from that description if it's worth it, but I'm gonna say to Abernathy, are these shelves fixed?
I think they might be. I must admit, I haven't really spent that much time looking at their construction. Do me a perception check, Cora.
Ooh, good question.
If we can just topple them,
Push them over.
Sorry.
Right. So D2 12 plus. Where's my perception? Hold on, I've got it open here too. That'll help. That's perception. Oh no, that's persuasion. I always look at the wrong one. Right. So I got a 15. Sorry, that took forever.
Okay.
15.
Yeah, hit the DC that I put down for it and the nose. You can see that the shelves are not bolted to the floor. They have wide feet, and it seems that the weight of the items on the shelves is the thing that's holding the shelves down. It'd be quite difficult to push the things over because of the sheer amount of weight that's on them. But if you do manage to succeed, you have a feeling that the chaos would be quite spectacular. You would have to push.
I like chaos.
I want to kind of pull everyone back. I don't want us to start into the room too much. I'm like, we have a carpet, and we could get up high and push and fly through this fucking room. Like, I'm not very strong, but some of us are. Thoughts?
The carpet won't go between the shelves, but if you push them apart, it could.
Push them apart.
Cora, sweetheart. Force. Your blasts. Force.
Yes, but we would want to get up high to do it from the top.
If we fly up and then...
Yeah, I'd happily try, like, you know...
Well, we can help Farewell.
7 minutes.
Push him.
I'm gonna. We'll give that. Carpet's on your back, right? Let's start pulling it off your back.
Mississippi.
Like, I'm wondering if, like, you know, we hold the cup and we pull the sides up. We're like, negotiate through it. Like, better than walking. We should fucking do it. We should try.
Give it a
Yeah,
go.
it's a
I'm on
big
board.
Let's just do it as
I'm on
quickly
board.
as we can.
I'm trying. I'm already starting to tug at the carpet that's I think tied
No,
to
no,
your
no,
back. Eclipse.
Yeah, no, it's tied to Farewell's back because he's the only one that's strong enough to carry it. So yeah,
Yes.
Farewell will lug the damn carpet back onto the floor, unclip the damn thing, roll it out, and be like,
I'm jumping on it and go in and fly or whatever. No, pride.
Pride.
Right.
everybody
Yeah, well,
gets on.
who wants to fly it? I don't know.
Well done for remembering the
I'll
trigger
fly it.
word. It levitates up on the air, in the air. Bear in mind, this thing is 9 foot wide. This is
9
a
foot
gigantic
wide? 6
thing.
foot
Yep.
wide? No, is it 9 foot wide? Bloody hell, that's so
Yeah,
big.
it's twice as wide as the space between the shelves.
Oh yeah, that's a lot wider than I.
Well, it can kind of fold in on itself because the
Are we-
carpet is not like a fixed shape. It can...
Fine,
Is there
fine.
a...
I go and lift one side of it and start walking backwards just to see if we can maintain balance. 'Cause I'm like,
So as
You
well
just
done for
grab
trying
both
this
sides and
before
hold them up.
flying, Nick. So you get onto the carpet, you pull up one side, and the carpet starts to veer, and you have a feeling that if you pulled up the sides, it would start to flip over.
Okay, stop. Is there
Mm.
a little bit of space in the room before the shelves really start? Like,
Oh yeah,
Could we
you've got a little
rise
bit of
up?
negotiation space before you get to the shelving units. Let's say 15 foot, as they
Okay,
a
are
place
we-
where they
are
sort
we
out
all
all the crap
jumped
before they
on?
put it on the shelves.
are we all jumped
Yeah,
on?
we'll all jump on. We'll do it as quickly as
We're
possible.
all on.
We're not.
I'm
not
gonna
flapping.
fly us right to the top, and just pick a side. And I mean, are they this sort of way or that sort of way, or this could be
think
really?
of a
We could
barcode.
just block our exit. I don't
Yeah,
know.
think of a barcode right in front of you with 15-foot slots in between. If you want to try and push over one of the shelving units, I'm all for you thinking your way out of this potential encounter. So how about we take a break now, because it's 9:30 where we normally have a break. It'll allow the brain juices to get flowing, and we will come back with hopefully an inspired way to avoid an encounter as we continue on with this gauntlet.
It's really good. I love it.
Yes.
We've got
Okay,
a
guys.
flying carpet. We should use it.
We will be
I'm gonna
right
say
back.
It's a genius idea. Genius idea.
See you all in 10 minutes.
Cora probably wouldn't have it. Kate might.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you, Jero, for the host. When we left off, the party were looking to avoid going from one encounter straight into another in this gauntlet they're currently going through by tipping over some shelving units. They are going into a room that's about 120 foot wide, 90 foot long. It's big oblong. And the door that they're trying to get to the reactor room that is effectively the power center for this underground clandestine base called the Institute, which they're trying to blow up because it's currently being taken over by demons. And the room that they're going through at the moment, as I say, it's like an oblong, and it's got 3 sets of 12 long shelving units. Just think of any kind of postal warehouse or something like that. It's kind of like that. And it's in some form of disarray. When we left off, we had Cora coming up with an idea that if they get up the magic carpet and pull some of the shelves apart, because the gap between the shelves is about 5 foot wide and the carpet is 9 foot wide. They tried pulling up the sides of the carpet, and that didn't look like it was going to be good when you're 20 foot up. The idea is that they will presumably push or break the shelves in such a way that they fall to one side, and then they were going to try to fly through with the carpet. Certainly a domino effect was what they were aiming for. So you guys have had a little bit of a brainstorm during the break, or at least I hope you did. Felicia's just sorting something out at the moment, so we've put up the graphic of Glory. But she is still here and can contribute. So the things that occur to you, Cora, when you're forming this plan is twofold. First of all, one of the easiest ways to get these shelves to tip over is to fly over to one of the walls on one of the sides, get all of you with the carpet to kind of shufty in between the wall and the shelves. It would be a bit of a tight fit, but you should be able to get enough of the carpet in that you guys will get a purchase. And then as a team, try to push over the near side set of shelves. If you do that, then there's a chance that the first one will go over and you'll get that domino effect that you're looking for. If you, however, want to take them down from the middle or second from the middle or whatever, the only way you can really see it is if you try to shoot out some of the support so that it will fall down in the manner that you... Both of those things seem possible, or you can try something else of your own devising, but those are the two that are immediately obvious. What would you like to do, guys?
Okay. Turning to Abernathy and saying, where is the door? Which path is the one? We can try and push and open, like, Red Sea this shit and find the door, but we need the path, the corridor that is the path.
Okay.
To the door.
Abernathy says, well, it's just off to the right of center. There are 12 shelving units here. I would say it's probably, if you ran between shelves 7 and 8, you'd probably get there. Whether or not there's anything blocking on the bottom, that's not to say, but you're not intending to go at floor level. So, yeah, if you part shelves 7 and 8 3 times, you'll be able to get through. Question is whether they're going to attack us as we attempt to do so.
Quite possibly, but like we might as well try. What do you guys think? I'm flying over to that place.
You know,
could we not just push it and have a domino effect? Was that not?
Yeah, but we need to get to the right shelving. So I'm pulling us to 7 and 8, and then we want to push one side or the other. It doesn't really matter. We just need a path. One side could still be up, but let's. I guess if we're going, I don't know, whichever way we're going, I would suggest we push the one that will knock over the most shelves. So the side that hopefully would domino the entire room.
That would be if you pushed shelf 7, because on the other side of shelf 7 you've only got 5. So, yep, that would probably be the one that causes the most carnage. Abernathy goes, well, it's a 5-foot gap or thereabouts between the 2 sets of shelves. So, I guess being that none of us are particularly tall, if you get the taller members, maybe and points out Farewell and Aiden because he's forgotten your names. Maybe if you were to maybe go back to back and push with your legs, it could happen.
I don't know if how strongly the carpet itself flying could be, but my thinking is it would go right to the very topmost thing to have the most leverage, and then just almost fly the carpet into the shelves while pushing. So it's
Couldn't you just hit it with your blasts?
Yeah, I'll double blast it too, but I don't think that's. I don't know. I'm not really sure D&D wise, like how powerful they are in comparison to pushing. But I'll happily do it at the same time because he's not very strong. Yeah.
As a
I mean,
team
also
effect,
as you,
your Eldritch Blasts could help, certainly.
Yeah.
And not just for the help action. I'm kind of concocting what kind of things here, what kind of effects it would have.
Yeah, because like if you thought that I could, I mean, the other option is like yes, to weaken the support on the other side that then helps push it. But so whatever I determine is going to be the most use, either weakening the legs or pushing from the top with the blast. But I will use up my 2 Eldritch Blasts doing that this round or this thing.
Sure. So, looking at it, you think a combination of the two could be possible. There's if the boys are pushing, and you blast the opposite leg, even though there's several supports on this 30-foot row of shelves, you should be able to, as they push, you take out one of the supports, and even if the entire shelf isn't going over, you should be able to get it so that part of it does, and it kind of Mexican waves over rather than falling over immediately in its entirety. So I'm going to go around the table, and I mean, I've already kind of said what Aiden can do is that he can push with Farewell, Farewell being the strongest character. And what I would like to know is what each of you would like to do. Abernathy offers that he won't be able to do much because he's a shield mage ordinarily, or if he had some of his arcane power, he would absolutely be able to do this. But unfortunately, he hasn't got any spell slots left. So he's going to just brute force try to push as well.
Yeah, just help action, kind of. If everyone's essentially pushing, yeah.
Okay. So Kate is going to do Eldritch Blast. Abernathy has asked if Farewell would like to push. That's not to say that I'm going to commit Nick. He can decide to agree or disagree with that as he likes. Eclipse, what are you going to do?
I will offer the help to Farewell.
Okay. Now my strength score is crap, and I don't. I mean, I guess I can take the shove action, but if that
you
does
could
anything...
also help, can't you?
Yeah.
Aiden maybe if one helps. One and
well,
one helps.
But me and Aiden both have the same strength score because Aiden has like 8 and I have 9. Yeah.
Aiden is 9.
Yeah.
Glory, what's your strength?
I have.
Me?
Yeah.
I think it's 8.
Yeah, my strength's 8. I have a minus.
Most of you have got 8 strength. Wow. Okay.
Except for the strong boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, then I'm stronger than the others. I thought I was really freaking weak. I have a strength of 10. I have just a 0. I don't have a minus.
Yeah, Cora, you're the second strongest member of the party.
Hilarious.
Is Abernathy's strength score 9 8 as well, or does he have a neutral one? Because then someone can help him.
Do an investigation check.
Oh, investigation! I like that.
Investigation or medical?
Investigation. So it was can I go with my passive investigation if my investigation roll was lower than 10?
Yeah, why not? This is not that important.
18.
Sure. In that case, yeah, you take a look at Abernathy, and Abernathy is more muscular than Aiden. Abernathy hasn't realised it. Because Aiden looks badass and Abernathy's effectively wearing a dress, Abernathy has just assumed that Aiden is stronger than him. But as you look at him, you go, yeah, actually, bigger muscles.
Yeah.
Farewell turns around and goes, "You're all puny. Look how muscly I am."
I love it.
With his, 7 hit points or whatever he's on right now. Like,
Well,
don't
Farewell,
sneeze
he's
on
like,
me. Oh no, Farewell. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Abernathy.
No, Farewell's like, "You're all so weak. Look how strong I am."
Look at my 12-pack.
Yeah, it's like, I'm totally shredded, bro. He's got 16. He's ripped.
If I help you push, that I think that would be good because I think you're slightly stronger than me.
If you think so, of course.
I don't know if
what
if
I
I'm
need you to
able
do is hold my feet
sorry,
on the shelving unit so that I can be an anchor for Mr. Farewell. Did they say to push off when we go back to back?
I'm trying so hard to be serious and I can't.
You got Arnie in your head now.
Because all I went in my head was, I'm Farewell ripped bones.
That you are.
Oh, boy.
He stood at the back of the team just going, "Ah!
If I'm able, I would actually like, if I know we're not playing the initiative rules right this second, but I would actually like to, because of angles as well, I would like to just use the Eldritch Blast to blast the bottom and then come around and help with the pushing, because if I'm actually not that weak in comparison to some of the others, I don't want to do one or the other. I kind of want to do both. I want to weaken the bottom and then help push.
Okay.
I'm an academic scholar of the magical arts. I don't do strength.
Yeah.
Cora, do me an intelligence check.
Oh, now I'm screwed. I 4.
A 4. Okay, cool.
If only it was my intelligence. I'm pretty stupid, but at least I'm better than Cora.
Will you accept? I was gonna say if we could help Cora with it, but
No, this is something that's in Cora's head. So Cora, you come up with the greatest idea. You aren't big enough to be able to push between the two shelves because, well, 5 foot is nearly twice your height. However, you see that there's a box on one of the top shelves, and if you climb on top of that box, you'll be able to push off against the ceiling.
Yeah, that's a stupid plan. I don't know what she's thinking. But okay, let's do it.
No,
you don't need to do it.
Wait. I don't want to be funny, but that really is stupid.
So as Cora climbs onto the box, Farewell just gently grabs hold of her and puts her back onto the carpet.
No.
I'll just push from the box, from the top.
No.
I'll just steer the thing then. I'll just do the thing.
No. Weaken the bottom of it. Shoot the bottom so it's weak. And I'll push.
Okay, I'm shooting the bottom because we talked enough. Let's go. Boom, boom.
Okay.
Ooh, natural 20.
Oh.
Oh.
What's my second one? A 4. This app.
Okay.
So I win it. So the natural 20 definitely, surely hits.
And
That's
so
plus a 9 as well.
13.
So 29.
Okay.
And then, yes, 13 for the other one, which hitting a static object hopefully might work.
Roll 2d10 and tell me the 2 scores.
First one, 8.
Okay.
Oh, bollocks to you. Second one, 1. I
Okay.
should just put in the 2 times thing. I'm just doing them individually. I don't trust it. I don't trust this app. Anyway, what did I say? An 8 and a 1?
Yep.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, pew!
So the support that you aimed at, Cora, you do a certain amount of damage to it, and it damaged might help.
Actually, just a natural 20 crit. Do I get 8 times 2?
Yeah. So the first
20
one
damage.
The first one did you've seen chunks of metal wood fly out from the support. The second one seems to have shaken it slightly. Think it's helped. Obviously, your knowledge of structural integrity on a 4 intelligence roll is not great. So you're like, I'm helping.
I mean,
I'm definitely helping.
You know, I could in theory blast again in 6 seconds. But yes, I'll
as they push,
anyway.
you can blast again in a sec. So
I'm going to push.
Okay.
Maybe Glory wants to help in the way that she throws some corroding acid at the supports.
Yeah, would you like to do that?
I mean, I can always throw some acid. That is a thing I can do.
Okay.
Acid splash at the support.
Okay, that's a con saving throw.
No.
What is that?
Yeah,
Acid splash is a dexterity saving throw for the.
Okay, so
Simon,
Shelving,
acid will always be dex in damage types. That's fire and acid is always dex.
The shelving jumps to one side.
Okay,
Unless
so-
it's one of our.
I'm gonna do a dex
special
saving
made
throw for
acid
Shelving
blocks.
unit.
It fails.
Okay, it fails.
Because it's a shelving unit.
Okay, the shelving
It
unit
fails because-
takes 2d6 damage. That's 6 damage.
Okay, good to know.
Plus your Felicia, don't forget
Oh
your
yeah,
modifier.
plus my thingy, so it's 11 damage.
Okay.
Sorry.
As the acid splashes against it, you can hear the cracking of wood, kind of like a blistering and cracking of wood. And you're rewarded with a sudden tarnishing and corroding of the metal. You can see that it very quickly kind of feathers up as the kind of rust happens. There's a hissing sound as it's reacting to kind of substance on the ship. And so we're going to take all of your efforts into account. And so you've got Abernathy and Farewell both rolling to try and push this thing over. So, Nick, I would like you to do a strength check with proficiency because it's just you pushing against something. It's a simple act. And with advantage because you've got a helper. In fact, there's 2 helpers. So you've got, I can't remember who was helping who, but let's give you advantage. And Abernathy is going to roll as well. So roll your strength with proficiency. May have some technical. Yep, considering all the guys are showing up twice. So what I'm going to do is just reboot this the only downside to life size is after a while it does suffer. Just get the guys to come back in. Just going to bring up the link.
Do you want to reload?
Yeah, I'm reloading now.
Yeah.
Okay. Your meeting has ended. New meeting.
If you just reload that page, because the same link worked.
I tried to, and then it didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it fell apart.
Okay.
So I'm sending you guys a new link now. So yeah, for the viewers, one of the big challenges that we had regarding this is after we got over our challenge of being on a Discord server that suffered horrendously on a Friday night. We had moved from that server, which was Western Europe, to South Africa, which seemed to have done the job. Then, spontaneously, and without, to my knowledge, announcement, Discord had got rid of its video conferencing abilities. So we're using Lifesize at the moment, which, even though they have high def 4K, there you go. The guy should be joining us now. High def 4K. What's the word? Video conferencing. There we go. We have a Felicia who has popped in. I'm gonna have to rearrange you all in a minute. They do have a free service which you can find if you go to go.lifesize.com. Now, if you're just playing an online game, hello everybody, you're all in the wrong places, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, if you're doing an online game and you're not streaming, it's absolutely fine because you don't have much of a problem when it crashes out. It does seem to suffer at around about the 2-hour mark, I would say. But for most games, it's absolutely fine, and the video quality and the audio quality is certainly worth it. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. I've been just riffing about Lifesize as we put up the new room. What I might do in future, if we keep using Lifesize, is I will get rid of the room during our break at 9:30 and just reload it so that it's ready to go again. But a little bit of an experiment this time round. We know that the room doesn't last the full 3 hours, but the quality, while it is going on, is amazing. So that's good. You all look very pretty. Anyway,
Cora,
you were about to make a roll. I would like
Eldritch Blast.
I would like Farewell to do a strength with proficiency roll with advantage. Whilst I move you around.
That's kind of good because one of those was a natural 1. So with proficiency 17, a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That is pretty damn good.
I help Abernathy.
Okay. So, yep, you locate Abernathy's feet against this thing. Oh, your help is greatly appreciated as the weedy little wizard presses against Farewell's back, and with a sudden amount of anger, now he's lost his broken will thanks to his amnesia, he pushes hard and he's like, let's do this! And he pushes against it. I rolled a 9 and a natural 20, which means that it required one of them to get the DC 19. This is an iron and steel structure, and the armor class is what I put as the DC here. I'm looking at the D&D DM screen, by the way, to get my various hit points and things. That's where I've been looking for the damage that Cora and Glory did. So between the damage that Cora and Glory have both done, and Farewell and Abernathy grunting, pushing against each other, holding onto each other's shoulders over the back of their own shoulders, this moment of absolute teamwork. You've got Eclipse holding Abernathy's feet against Shelving 8 as Farewell pushes his feet immediately with a against Shelving 9. Shelving 7. Shelving 7 is the one that's been weakened by Cora and Glory, and there's this sudden crack as the support that Cora and Glory have beaten the shit out of collapses. One corner of Shelf 7 just peels down, and doing a bit of a ad hoc roll here. Yep, that's good enough for me. It's enough of a force as all the stuff on the shelves start to crash down and add to the impetus of this. The second support crashes, and after the first two have gone, the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth support of this shelving unit hasn't got a chance. Once this entire shelving unit starts to crash against the other one, the domino effect goes off. Just going to do a bit more. Yep, that's fine by me. I've just done a couple of luck rolls for you there, and you hear this incredible crunch, crunch, crunch as these shelves start to fall.
Looking for demons and shadows and whatever else coming out of the shelving units, ready to blast them.
Very much like a bunch of beaters trying to get pheasant to come out of a brush. You're there like, ready for these things to come out.
Hunting boys.
Let's get Kate, Nick, and Felicia to roll me a d20. I'm not going to tell you if high or low is good.
6.
6 from Kate. 7 from Nick.
13.
13 from Felicia. Okay, Kate and Nick, do me a favor and roll me 4d6 each.
11, 12, 18.
9. 1, 1, 4, and 3. Blech.
Okay. So you hear these two animal-like screams as the shelves apparently collapse on two of whatever the hell is in amongst these things. And
Let's just speed across. We're speeding across as this is happening, I assume.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you're kind of moving as this is happening, and you can feel that two beings have been crushed underneath these shelves. Now, they've taken some damage, but the key point here is that they are trapped. They have to burrow their way through these collapsed shelves and goods and things like that to be able to do this. I'm going to get Kate, because this was originally your idea. Roll me another d20, please. There's a lot of chaos rolls going on here. What was that?
6.
A 6. Okay. That was actually a luck roll for the two demons that are trapped. And the reason for that is that I did put in this room that there was a crate of alchemist's fire. So let me just check how fire resistant these poor bastards are. They are.
We pray for not very.
They are resistant. It's a good thing you've got an app there, Kate. Can you do me a favor and roll me 12d6?
Fucking hell.
38.
Good to know. Good to
Couple
know.
of 1s and 2s in there, but you know.
So, as you watch this carnage, and you're there flying to the second tier of shelves, you watch as the detritus crumples in on itself as the shelves finally collapse. That there's this whoomph in between, and shelves 7 to 1 have now turned into a large oblong bonfire.
Yay! It's light now.
Hey! No shadow demons here.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
I'm so glad we don't have to clean this up.
Yeah.
And you get to shelving unit number 2. using the same tactic? Sorry,
course.
row
Yeah.
number 2. Yeah?
I
Yeah.
don't see why not.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cora and Glory, give me attack rolls on the shelving unit. Glory, let me check. Yep, it fails its dex saving throw. So go ahead with the attack.
I want to see the shelf jump out of the way.
That's okay. The final set of mimics.
Time.
Oh, I keep a 13 and a 17 plus 9.
Yeah, both of your Eldritch Blasts hit. Roll me 2d10.
I'm just gonna put 2d10. 6 for both. Like it was a 5 and a 1.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you meant 6 on each, but no, 5 and a 1.
No, annoyingly, I went 2d10 and it said a 5 and a 1, 6.
Okay. Glory, what's your damage?
14.
14, nice. Okay, so a total of 20 damage. As you're flying up to it, both Cora and Glory take point, and just there's this dash of acid down the length of the this strut, and then just boom, boom, these two kind of almost cannon blasts. And yeah, you go up to it. You poke the tip of the carpet between the shelving units, and it's time for Muscle Wizard and Farewell to try again with the same setup. Farewell, roll your strength check with advantage.
19.
Okay, good to know. So this time, Abernathy is struggling slightly. He pushes against it, but unfortunately, he doesn't. It doesn't do as well. All he can do is lock his legs, so that he is allowing you to do what he's intending to do. So he hasn't got rid of your chances to do it. And 19 is exactly what you needed to hit. So you start grunting and pushing, but it's harder this time. Farewell. Thankfully, the 20 points of damage total that was done to the strut, it's harder this time, and you hear it splinter first before it cracks. And there's kind of a real push here. Do me a Constitution saving throw, Nick.
Okie dokie. 17.
17. Yeah, the muscles are burning in your thighs as you're pushing with your legs. You're kind of feeling like you need to have some leg days once you get back to the city. But for now, it's enough, and you're suddenly rewarded with a lovely crack as this part of the shelf goes down. Let me just check. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you just got a 17 and 18 on a luck roll. And the same thing happens as last time. With a crunch, this stuff falls down. I'm not going to go into initiative order, but there is an attack that is done on...
Wisdom saving throw DC 17 if the best part of, say, 9 or so minutes has not passed. Because my guardians are still
The attack is actually a ranged attack. Your guardians are still orbiting you. And this attack is actually a ranged one. It seems to be coming from the area of shelves 1 to 5. No, 1 to... What was it? 1 to... No, it was 8 to 12 because there was 5 left. Shelves 8 to 12 on row 1. There is a creature that just darts out for a second. You don't get enough chance to identify it. But there seems to be a kind of grunt of effort. And a white streak flies through the air in an attempt to hit Abernathy. Let me just check here. Yep. Okay.
If it's a crit, I will auto cancel.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll tell you if it is a crit. And okay, it's a good thing you gave him that potion, Kate, because the 9 points of damage that he healed has just been taken off him. A strange porcupine-like spine, a quill, from a porcupine has shot into him, and you can see that it's had an effect on him. His skin starts to go yellow, and he looks ill.
Okay, I will.
We're not here to keep him alive. Ah!
I will
Need him
pull
enough.
my. Oh, healer's kit only stabilizes people. Shit.
Question, Simon, for just because what's the attack within 60 foot?
Within
from
six,
us?
within 60 foot. Let me see. Yes, it would have been.
Then I think Aiden would have used his reaction to use Blood Pressed Eyeless.
This was effectively a sneak attack. He wouldn't have had a chance. Is it a reaction for him to do that?
The reaction.
It is a reaction.
Okay,
yes.
let me just check. I'll just roll an extra die. Okay. Undo that. The second die, I rolled a 3. So the quill. I'll just continue the narrative rather than anything else. The quill.
Sorry, Simon. I just.
No, that's fine.
Thank you. I'm
without
juggling like
Rodrigo here, it's
straight.
good to know. So the quill. I'm going to continue the narrative, but still do the effect. He looks ill, and he grabs hold of the quill and pulls it out, and suddenly you watch all the colour go back to his face, and he goes, and in meme style, pulls out a book with a hole in it.
Yep.
They're very lucky.
Hurry before that shoots us again.
Yeah. Well, you're watching.
Yeah.
This is happening as the shelf is starting to peel down, and once again, crash, 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 crash. This time, I'm gonna get Abernathy to roll the appropriate
I
rolls.
get roll. I haven't gotten roll. Say no. I rolled the natural one for the monsters.
So
For the month.
as the shelves crash down, you watch as a puff of glitter comes from around about shelf 4. This puff of golden glitter shoots up into the air and all over the place, and you recognize it immediately as residuum, but gold residuum, not red residuum. Apparently there was some sort of case with it in. If you'd found it, you would have had enough to do around about, you don't know, but maybe a 4-figure sum's worth of enchantment with it. Now it's been scattered all over the place.
Well,
There's no time.
Glory, do me
I'd rather
a
you-
Arcana check, please.
let me guess. I'm gonna be sad. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's 24.
24. Okay, so 2 things about this, Glory. First of all, you estimate based on the sheer amount of glitter that's just been shot up into the air that is now settling in amongst the dust and the wreckage and the fire and all the rest of it, that there's about 8,000 gold pieces worth of enchantment that's just gone up in smoke. However, also, you have theorized that amount of residuum that's gone in the air will have a profound effect to the next magical effect that is cast.
Oh. Ooh. I will just look at that, and a lone tear falls down Glory's cheek. And she clutches her chest like, oh, that's a lot of money.
Are we like we came to a thing, we tipped one shelf over and this shelf is still up, right? Is there any like when we fly, are we
Assuming.
up?
We're
Yeah,
zooming.
are we zooming to the next Is there another thing that needs to go? Or can we see an exit?
Cora?
So you know there's one more row of shelving that needs to go down.
There is.
And yes, as you're going past shelf, what would be shelf 8 of row 2, you are going past various boxes and things like that as you go past.
What was it you wanted to say, Felicia?
I was gonna ask, anyone have something that will explode?
Not in my wheelhouse.
No. I got sneaky things.
I can kind of explode, but not properly.
I can.
I do have that. No, I just thought there's a big chance of if any one of us uses another magical effect, we could blow this entire room up.
Ow.
With us in it?
Yeah, we're in it. Do we want to do that? We're going to blow the entire place up.
I would suggest us getting to the other side of the room, and as we're leaving, we blow shit up.
This is happening far too often. I agree with you.
Cora, if I don't know whether she could probably reach, but if we're going past as we get to the next shelf and we're planning the push, after doing her blasting and stuff, because she can't do the pushing very much, she kind of wants to be able to reach the shelving that isn't gonna fall and just throw a whole load of shit onto the carpet. Like, that might be interesting. That might be interesting. That might be interesting. Like,
I just hold open a bag of holding for you that you can just shove things in.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck. I don't know what this shit is, but it might be expensive and evidence and just useful and explosive. So
I am reminded of a singular phrase that from several games, all involving barbarians. I would like to rage loot, please.
Yeah, this is like supermarket sweep style, like the shelving as you go along, like.
Take inspiration! Damn you! Damn you! You stole my line. You stole my line. Take inspiration.
Yeah.
Who's taking inspiration?
Kate. I was about to say, are you fucking supermarket sweeping my encounter? And then you beat me to the punch. Take it, damn you, and take it. Take inspiration.
Honestly, Glory is not much help, so she will also do this, so we can grab twice as much.
And Aiden will do the bag of holding opening for Glory as well, because there's not an awful lot he can do at the moment.
Fine. You want to do this?
Like,
let's do this.
There's residuum in this room. Like, you gotta see if there's more. So yeah.
That's we're swimming fast.
No time for looking. Just fucking.
He's only upset because now, after this session, he's got to sit there and think on what the fuck have we just looted.
Oh no, we have the technology. We're doing this shit now. We're doing this shit now. We have the technology.
Oh dear.
I was about to say roll a d12, but instead, because Glory is helping and Eclipse is helping as well, all three of you girls roll me a d6 each.
Okay.
Go on, ladies. Come on.
1d6.
Come on, crush this.
Only one.
5.
1.
Oh no.
6.
Okay, so that's pretty good average, all in all.
Okay, so we got a 1, a 6, and a
5.
And a 5. Okay. So I put your stuff in. Okay. You start pushing a series of items that you're not really paying attention to, but they seem to be things of a mechanical nature, engineering nature. Some of the things, Glory goes, "Oh, those are spell components," and just throws those in as well. You throw in some what seem to be ingots of metal. That seem to be they seem to be more ornamental than structural. They seem to be of a strange straw-colored metal. Not gold. Gold is definitely a yellow. This is kind of like a thin oil. It's like the same color as sunflower oil, but as a metal. You throw those in as well. You were about to say, "Nah, we can't put that in there. We'll never be able to lift it up." And Cora just kind of skitters a hand across one of these other ingots. So not the straw-colored ones. These are kind of like you think maybe they're steel, and then you realise that in the dull light that's up here, because there are lights around here, but you're going up near the ceiling where the lights aren't that great. Cora's hand just brushes against one of them, and the ingot, which is like gold bar size, moves, at which point one of you shouts mithril, and you push around about 20 ingots of mithril into your bag of holding. Right?
We are fucking rich.
We are so rich.
We need to be. We probably don't have Miss Green on our side anymore.
It depends. We'll see what happens if we can, like, convince her that she did a boo-boo.
I claim the ingot since I rolled the highest.
You start throwing bolts of cloth in there, and you're wondering why they would need cloth, but then you're like, fuck it, we don't care, we're just throwing it in. And this cloth seems to be a kind of almost prepared for enchantment, maybe, according to Glory. She doesn't have enough time to voice it, but she's kind of like, strange, this stuff seems to have... Is that spell thread? Great. And starts throwing it into the bag.
Is Eclipse finally going to get her cloak of invisibility that she's desperate for?
I can make one of those, and I'm gonna make my portable teleportation circle.
After like a year of downtime, because the cloak of invisibility is a legendary item.
You also managed to pick up a box which says it says emergency disposal on there, and as you pick it up, this is just a cardboard box, and as you pick it up, a black, a really dark black. For those of you who know what Vanta black is, this looks like Vanta black, and you're kind of like, whoa, this is weird. Like, it's messing with my eyes. And you throw a portable hole, almost, into the bag of holding. At which point, thankfully, tripping. Oh, I was about to get Glory to make another. Honest to God, it's just said on here, portable hole. I was going to get Glory to do an Arcana check for her to go, no, don't put it in there. But she got 24 before, so I'm going to just trip off the back of that. And as that happens, Glory snatches the portable hole and just stuffs it into her regular bag.
Yes.
So.
It's going to be in there.
Long
Very
story
well
short.
Locked because Jerome is not going in there.
Yep. So long story short. You've got 1,130 gold pieces of stuff. You spot that you have around about 24 platinum pieces on top of that. Right?
Wait, so say that again, so
Say that again.
Well, there's a hoard. You're not quite sure about the copper, silver, and electrum that you've grabbed, but by your estimation, you've got about 1,130 gold pieces worth of stuff. I'll 1,130 gold pieces.
Okay.
You've got about 24 platinum pieces worth of stuff.
20 or 30?
24.
24.
I'll send you a list of what you think the trade items are. But on top of that,
we have a happy Glory.
You have right. You ready to write this down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have one portable hole, one bead of force, one charm person scroll that any of you guys can use, drift globe.
Wait, slower.
I'll let you write this down.
Portable hole. I got as far as that.
One bead of force, portable hole.
Bead of force.
And then.
What was it? Like third.
One scroll.
Scroll of what?
Charm person.
Charm person.
Oh, scroll of charm person. Okay.
Yeah.
A drift globe.
Drift globe.
Yay.
which is labelled inspection light.
Sorry, was that a separate thing?
No, the drift globe is marked
Oh.
with the words inspection light, and in brackets it has, in speech marks, illuminate.
Ooh, so that's the word.
One scroll of magic weapon, the paladin spell.
Ooh.
Oh, that's useful.
What was that? Was that a scroll? Did you say?
Yep, a scroll of the paladin spell,
of-
magic weapon.
Nice.
I can't believe I'm about to say the next one. So there's one box. It's about the size of a breeze block. And it says plunge pool inspection vessel.
Lunch pool.
You have a folding boat.
Oh my God.
Yes.
We have a magic carpet and a folding boat and a portal.
These guys
Do you
are
want the story
richer
to
than
continue,
sin.
or can we just go on holiday now?
Right, so-
Oh, we're moving to Skull, right? All figured out.
Let's become pirates.
fabric.
Let's go to sea and become pirates.
Yeah,
So-
let's just go off, set up a clothing store for magical stuff, and then have a boat.
God.
Love it.
Right, so
We can't clearly go back to the city. It's a bad idea.
I'm going to read
Yeah.
out folding boat for those who have not enjoyed the wonder of folding boat.
It's so great.
This object appears as a wooden box that measures 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches deep. It weighs 4 pounds and floats. It can be opened to store items inside. The item also has 3 command words, each requiring you to use an action to speak it. The first command word causes the box to unfold into a boat 10 foot long, 4 feet wide, and 2 feet deep. The boat has 1 pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and a lantern sail. That's a very small sail. The boat can now hold up to 4 medium creatures comfortably. The second command word causes the box to unfold into a ship 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. The ship has a deck, rowing seats, 5 sets of oars, a steering oar, an anchor, a deck cabin, and a mast with a square sail. The ship can hold 15 medium creatures comfortably. This is kind of a Viking longboat with a very small cabin at the back for the the box becomes a vessel. When the box becomes a vessel, its weight becomes that of a normal vessel, its size, so it gains in weight, and anything that was stored in the box ends up in the hold of the boat. The third command word causes the folding boat to return back into a box, provided that no creatures are on board. Any objects that's in the vessel that can't fit inside the box fall out of the box as it folds down. But any objects that can fit inside the box remain in the box that was in the... Okay.
I love it so much.
You can now sail with 15 passengers anywhere that you like because you have a magic brick.
Yes. And we have a lot of shit that I need to go through at some point.
I haven't finished. You also got 3 potions of healing.
Oh boy.
Good call, Kate. Good call.
When I wrote down notes on this encounter...
We're in a storage room here. Why are we... I mean, I know we got urgency, but there's got to be a way to grab some of this shit onto our fucking huge magic carpet. Like...
Yeah.
So, when I wrote this encounter, I wrote down on my notes, what if they start looting shit? And so my answer to myself was, the stuff on the lower shelves is the everyday items, the expensive stuff is higher up. And you looted the top shelves.
Yep.
I am
That
so
is
happy.
correct.
Now,
So, just out of interest, you listed those things, but you had previously said things like 12 ingots of mithril. So we've also got bolts of cloth, 12 ingots of mithril, some weird metal that looked oily color,
Yep.
and dark hole and stuff. Is that right?
For the most part, these are trade goods, but if you want to use them in a story narrative, downtimes in D&D is something that's usually quite neglected. You have spellcloth, mithril, and a strange oily coloured metal, the colour of what you call it?
Vegetable oil or something you
vegetable
said.
oil.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Right, we
Go
should
on,
still
guys.
carry on our mission. Is the door visible?
Yeah, so you only get one loot in this room, just for narrative purposes, rather than you going to all 36 shelves and climbing them. I just did a,
We're
if
also
you loot,
still
you get
worried
some shit.
about
Okay.
you know, demon things. So we are definitely speed looting that
Oh, yeah,
stuff as we go.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So-
we have no idea what we've looted so far, even though you've just listed it. We're still like heavily on this mission. So
You know,
it's like
the inspection vessel you have no idea about. It's just like, oh, that's probably a rubber dinghy, and you throw it
almost
in.
throw it away and like, nah, fuck it, throw it in.
Yeah.
Drift
At
globe
least
might
I'm
be useful
good
because
enough
that's
to
actually
spot
light
we
spell, I'm
don't
pretty
want to
sure.
throw in.
Okay. So you come up to the last set of shelves. As you do so, you hear a familiar sounding voice. It sounds like the Inquisitor that you killed last session. And
Oh no.
the hissing sound says, "Hail, farewell, Barebones. He has a portal. He has a planar key." And at which point an extra attack goes on to Farewell. Are you going to use Curse of the Eyeless? How many do you have left?
Yeah. No, it Curse of the Eyeless is just a reaction. He can do that as much as he wants.
Okay.
It's not a. It is not. You're thinking of his Blood Maledict, which freezes people.
Right.
He can only do that twice.
A 14 doesn't hit you, does it, Nick?
Nope. AC 19.
Yeah. You feel this kind of dinging sound as ricocheting off your armor is another one of these white quills. And there's a moment of, oh, where's he from? And then all the lights go out. Boom. You guys are in total darkness.
Back in
I
darkness.
grab Drift Globe, pull it out, shout, illuminate for the daylight spell.
Okay. Eclipse, you feel the drift globe leave your fingers as it starts to float up in the air, presumably making light. You're still in absolute darkness.
Magical.
We did it again. Ooh, and we're okay. I think I'm controlling the carpet. I'm gonna just back us up like 15 or 20 feet, like what until we either get out of the darkness.
Yep.
Just FYI, Simon.
Yeah.
Daylight spell is a third level levitation, and it dispels any magical darkness at or below its spell level.
Yeah, the drift globe isn't powerful enough to dispel the magical darkness, but if you had a powerful enough daylight spell, that would do the job.
Question: before the lights go out, could I have turned to look where that quill gone and thrown like a sacred flame back out?
I'll allow
definitely
a
been
chance.
looking for-
Give me a quick initiative check.
Cool. That's poor 4.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
So, you back out, Kate, and in front of the set of shelves, between shelves 7 and 8, and I think it goes a bit further actually, so between shelves 5 and 9, there's a big sphere of magical darkness.
Okay. Looking around for well, there's the porcupine guy first.
Well, I call back the drift globe follows us.
Oh yeah, the drift globe is right next to you, Corinne, and it's shedding out light in every direction. So yeah, it's lighting the room quite well. Cora, you said you're looking for Mr. Spiky. Do me a perception check.
Mr. Spiky or the voice guy, like someone who looks like the guy we killed before.
Question. Are we still on the magic carpet? Because
You
then
are.
we could just fly up until we're outside the darkness.
I
Unfortunately-
think we were basically at the ceiling, though, weren't we? So
Exactly.
I'm assuming we can go under it,
You can
but
go
we
under.
can't push the shelving quite so easily. So we're a bit stuck, which is why I just got us out for now.
You cannot
And then we
go
can make a
over
decision.
it. You must go under it.
Oh,
Yeah, but we
Babe,
can't go
babe,
under it
babe,
without
babe.
pushing the
Not
shelves
now.
again because we
Not
still
now.
got too thin.
Yeah.
not
Is
out.
that right?
So you can just choose some
we would-
different shelves if you wish.
Yes, but we're still looking for the door. So,
Yeah.
So I'm looking for enemies that maybe I can smash until I get instructions from the guys of what we should do.
Okay. So give me a perception check, Cora.
A perception check.
Protected check.
A perception check. Oh, that's not amazing. That is a 12.
No.
Is that less than you?
My
Passive?
passive is 13, but it's still not amazing.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't spot anything at the moment, Cora. They seem to be lying in wait, knowing that it's your job to get past the obstacles.
Are we rolling initiative, or are we just carrying on with our actions?
I'm leaving it kind of chaotic at the moment. If we get into battle proper, then we will go into initiative. But for now, you are just hovering, and they seem to be absolutely fine hiding and observing you.
Okay, I will blast the bottom of the shelves, the next shelves we're meant to try and get, just like we did before, but I'm going to just kind of keep blasting until it either tips itself or or we decide to go for the middle. I'm assuming, like, what's the depth of the darkness?
Darkness is, I think, a 20... Oh, I've got it here. Hang on. So darkness is a 15-foot radius sphere, which means it's 30 foot high. Now, the shelving unit's only 20 foot high, but it was centered on you guys before, so you've got about a 10-foot clearance on the floor that isn't darkness, so you can see the base of this shelving unit.
That doesn't give us much leverage to push, though. I'm gonna blast, and I'm gonna suggest we could just do this in darkness. We know what we're doing now, and just see what everyone says.
Let's do it.
I just want to get out of here. We still have Farva Splendor, so if they get close, they will get blended.
Yeah, we just need to push it over. Okay, so I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the bottom at least twice if I get a chance. Another couple. So 14 plus 9.
While we go,
15.
Simon.
Yeah.
Just as we go into the sphere of darkness, I don't know if this is gonna do anything. I want to cast Silent Image and just leave a copy of us hanging, just like hovering, as if we didn't go in.
Okay. Yeah, sure, you can do that. So that happens. Kate, what was your result? I heard you roll, but I didn't hear your result.
Oh, sorry. So a 15 for one, and then the other one was like, I think, a 14 plus 9.
Sure.
Like
Roll me
more.
1d10.
Did you say 1d10 or 2d10?
1d10.
1d10. A 9.
Okay. Sure. So you fire, crack. You're rewarded with a good splintering sound. And as you go into the darkness, farewell, I would like you to take...
No!
Take 8 points of fire damage.
Ow.
Your armor, your chainmail, is heating up.
Shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's heat metal. I'm going to make a concentration
Yes,
check.
please. Yeah.
Luckily, I'm a warcaster, so I get advantage.
DC 10.
Which is good, because one of those is a fucking 1, and I rolled a 9, and I've got a +1 Constitution, so I hit the DC on the nose.
Good.
Mhm.
So
Is he
your
got still not a touch spell?
Nope, not anymore.
60-foot range on heat metal these days. It's a bloody good
Yeah.
spell.
Well,
So
welcome to 5e, man.
Yeah.
When they got rid of touch spells, it really fucked some people up.
so your chainmail is starting to hotter and hotter. We need to go into round initiative now because this is happening every 6 seconds.
So my
gonna say-
spell did nothing then, Simon. It didn't distract them.
Your spell went off. You can feel that the
Yes,
image is
but-
still running.
Yes,
Okay.
but it didn't obviously didn't start because they actually attacked us and they didn't attack the image. That was
Unfortunately, they were able to see that when you cast the image, that there were 2 of you momentarily, and one of the creatures clearly
I
noticed.
meant that was I said I was gonna cost it as so it matched up with us.
Yeah.
And
I did an intelligence check and they got a 19 on the dice. So you had a chance. They got lucky.
What did you say you wanted us to do? A initiative or something?
Yeah, probably best to do an initiative roll now because we need to go into initiative because you're going to have to respond to what one of the creatures has managed to do to Farewell. So let's get you guys rolled up.
Instead of Simon, I was gonna say instead of going into combat when we have 7 minutes left, should we make a cliffhanger here or?
No, let's roll initiative.
I was going to get the notes down so we can get into it next session.
I just got a 19 on my roll, so I want to log this initiative even if we don't fight.
Same, I got an 18.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
lost.
I've rolled good initiative. I want that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got a 21 in total.
Oh, 21 total. Nice.
Yeah, because I rolled 19. I got another 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Farewell.
18.
Nice. Aiden.
7.
And Eclipse.
To be able to record that on D&D Beyond. That would be useful.
Eclipse.
15.
15. Okay. Right. So we're nicely set up for next turn. For next session. Now your armor was heating up, Nick, as you guys were going into this darkness. So
I was supposed to say, if I get a opportunity to react to the fact that I'm getting super hot, I know exactly what I will do.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that you started feeling the pain as you started pushing off against the shelf. Yeah. So
Okay.
It might be that you guys could kind of rush out of this. So both you and Abernathy are rolling with disadvantage. You get advantage from the help. So you're rolling straight. Both of us roll a single dice. What did you get?
Sorry, I'm doing maths in my head.
Okay.
15.
15.
I said, do you does he add his proficiency and stuff?
That's
Did you
all
say?
with my proficiency.
Yeah.
Same roll I've been making all night.
Yeah.
Okay. Between yourself and Abernathy, neither of you kind of fail at what you're doing. It's not like one of you slipped. You both got high enough that you didn't fudge anything. Because bear in mind, you're pushing against things whilst on the edge, the very edge of a flying carpet in the dark. Yeah. Falling was definitely on the table for this stuff. Even though you had people kind of holding you in place as well, but that's all represented in the roll. So neither of you failed, but you haven't managed to get the shelf over yet. So this is where we're going to finish up here. So as beings unknown stalk around the remaining shelves, others are buried by them. You find yourself looking for... Oh, I forgot something. Wouldn't have affected the darkness. that force spell that
Yeah.
the air is full of residuum.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
yes.
Yeah, but then the shells might just happen on their own, right?
Yeah, this.
Oh.
Mm.
So, as you guys are pushing, there's a don't realize as you're pushing that there's a strange humming sound. Many of you feel like it's just your the blood pumping in your ears. You're in darkness, though, and as your sight is taken from you, your hearing is greatly increased. And you can tell that this whining sound, this goes from being sounding like a slight amount of tinnitus to a foreboding sound. At first you think it's a spell that's cast by one of your unknown attackers. You're wondering how they can target you as Beowulf starts to react to the heat on his skin when they can't see you. And it's at that point the glory goes, oh. And then there's an almighty explosion.
Yep.
Oops.
And you know what? That's the perfect time to end the session.
I did say no magic in this room until we were at the other side, but
Yeah, the
You
shadow-
could have reminded us again because we forgot.
This is
The
like,
yeah, but I can't think.
all the
Yeah,
loot we've got, we're all dead.
I was feeling really proud of myself. I was like, yep, the darkness is an innate ability. It's not an actual spell. And then I was there thinking, no one's cast a spell. Oh shit, she has.
I
good-
was talking about
the good news, Cora-
spells.
I've been reminding you guys of a lot of stuff today. It's not my thing to do.
The good news,
Well,
Kate,
Well, if
is
you
that
forget
the shelves
and you
will
don't
probably
remind us
come
if
down.
you remember.
Yeah, but it's fun this way, isn't it?
Okay.
We want to
Well,
blow the place up, right? I mean, that's...
Yeah, we wanted to blow it up anyways. It's
Yeah.
not like it matters in the end.
Oh dear. It was fun while it lasted.
so next week we'll all be rolling new characters.
Next week you'll be rolling something. So thank you for the guys who have turned up here. I know that Rattles will be watching this back. So hello, dude. If you're watching, hello to the future. Thank you to. Did you say it was Martin and
Kevin.
Evan? Thank you for watching,
Yes.
guys, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying the various bumblings and also inspirational tactics that are being employed by our party in equal measure. So we will be back next week, Friday, 8 p.m. UTC. That's UK time. And we'll be continuing forward. We still won't have Rodrigo, unfortunately, due to his shift work. But we'll be continuing down into the depths of the Institute. They've run most of the gauntlet here. They've avoided parts of it. My God, they've avoided parts of it. Nearly a session's worth. And they have managed to get through it without needing any of those all-important short rests. So we will see you next week for yet more. For us, we are about to have a quick chat amongst ourselves before we call it a night. I've just seen Kate yawn, so we won't make it too long. Looks like she's had a full day. And we're hoping to maybe throw a few one-shots out, a little bit of extra fun. We've got a few things coming up next month. So myself and Corinne will be going to MCM Comic Con, and I think Kate might be. That was only based on a comment that she said earlier on before we started the stream. So there is a possibility of something going for Kate. I'm not going to say what it is That's for Kate to say, not. But presumably, if she's going to be going down to project that we all that Kate is spearheading. So yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, we are going to be missing out a session for that. There's going to be some other times that players will be away, but we will always be here if we can. So other than MCM London, we are going to be here for most of October, and we're going to be throwing a few one-shots in piecemeal. I've got plenty in my playbook. There is certainly lots available. Normally, I give it to the guys who are here that do the home games, and to cover for my wonderful DM on a Wednesday night where I become the player, Paul, who's an amazing DM, his first major campaign, and he's rocking it. Normally I do those one-shots to cover him, but I'd like to throw a few on here, so maybe you'll see some extra people coming in as well. Open invite to Rattles, for example, who has supported us right from the very beginning. There's been others, Roan and Aiden as well, that have supported us all the way throughout. And I'll extend an invitation to a few others as well to maybe cameo in. Just for us to have a little bit of disposable fun where they can be a little more risky and risk their characters. And try different character builds as well, because when you're doing a long campaign, the one thing you don't get to do is try other classes, other races, so we will throw stuff in there. So we're going to have a little chat about that now, and hopefully we shall have some that we'll be throwing in. But for now, take care of yourself, especially with all the crap that's going on out there at the moment. And we love you all, and take care.
Bye.